From 4 News Now, with live updates throughout the day, breaking news as it happens, and weather every 10 minutes. This is KXLY Plus.
Good afternoon for 4 News Now. I'm Rob King. Coming up in a couple of weeks, Beetlejuice the Musical coming to town, Spokane's first interstate center for the arts, December 31st through January 5th. The link to get tickets, you can find that right now on kxly.com or head to broadwayspokane.com. And I'm speaking today with Justin Collette, the man himself who plays Beetlejuice. Justin, how are you? The very patient Justin Collette, I should start with.
Thank you so much. I'm not that patient.
Well, you were very gracious as we worked through some technical stuff at the top before we got rolling.
It was fun. I was having a blast.
I guess you just have to sit.
That's true, yeah.
Well, Justin, let's just start with how the tour is going so far.
Tour's going great. We've been on the tour for 2 years now. This last week is how long I've been on it, how long the tour's been running. It's just been constantly exciting. We've gone all over the country. We're doing a bunch of the country again. It's been really the experience of a lifetime.
Do you find as you play the role for 2 years that you kind of grow within it and kind of bring something different as you've expanded from where you sort of first started?
Totally, yeah. Our director, Alex Timbers, gave me lots of room to improvise and keep the character kind of feeling alive, despite the fact that he's dead, and which was really gracious of him. And that's helped, I think, keep it exciting and funny and fun, despite the fact that we do it 8 shows a week.
Yeah, because I guess even though performing on stage was probably your dream, playing such an iconic role, there's no problem with it getting stale.
No, for sure, yeah. But this show, staleness is not a problem with this show. The show really, the audience, we've been sold out, performing to packed houses all around the country now, like for 2 years. And what is really hard is keeping the energy up to match the audience's energy when you've been doing it for 2 years. It's not like an expiration, like a stale thing. It's like, oh man, can I keep rising to this moment that's there every night?
Yeah. It's got to be challenging. So what do you find helps kind of keep that motivation? Is it that there is a new audience?
Yeah. The new audience helps. It's really interesting just doing comedy across this country. Like every state is different. Every city is different. They all have their own vibes. They all have their own jokes or parts of the show they really kind of identify with and attach themselves to. And so like navigating how the show reads differently to a new audience in every city is like part of the challenge and also part of the fun of the show.
You've been around the country. Was there any place, a city that maybe you were like, I've never even heard of that place, and then you went to and it really surprised you?
I have every city. I'm not just saying this. Every city we've been to has surprised me and has been great. I mean, ones that I'd never been to, Greenville, South Carolina, or Sioux Falls, South Dakota, were really fun cities. But everywhere that we go, we're there because there is a community that's supporting live theater, right? That like we normally have over 2,000 people or 2,000 seats in the houses, up to like, I think in Atlanta we played like 4,800 people. So it's wherever community we go to, they're so supportive of the arts anyway that it kind of feels like a cheat way to go find all these little artist communities around the country.
I guess the people going to Beetlejuice the Musical want to go see Beetlejuice the Musical.
Yeah, and they also come from a town that theater matters to them. Like there's subscriber seasons. They have these theaters built in their cities, and they have the support of the community. So it's just like, it's so exciting to go visit these places that are so proud of their theater communities, and they work so hard to keep them going. Live theater is not the easiest sell to people all of the time, but we're glad to be a part of making it accessible to like younger people, as well as just like seeing what each city's story is and how their theater like exists, how it came to be.
I think in modern pop culture, it's hard to find a name more recognizable than Beetlejuice, maybe Batman, something like that. So what is it like to kind of take on that mantle? I didn't even realize that when I did that.
Right?
He is both of those. So what is it like to kind of step into something that people can feel so personal about?
I think the writing in this show is so good that I'm not afraid. I think that my take on the character is it's not unrecognizable if you've seen, Michael Keaton or Alex Brightman even do it when he did it on Broadway. But it's different. I just really believe that no one wants to come see a performer do a bad impression of someone else's good character. So the material made sense to me. I understood how I would play it instantly. I really connected with how the writers put this show together. I think it's really smart. I think the writing is really modern. So I didn't have to think too much about how to piece it together. It just kind of fell into place.
And then what kind of, do you do the vocal fry? That's the scratch?
Yeah.
What kind of prep?
You gotta talk like them.
What kind of prep do you have to do for that? And how do you maintain that over 2 years of touring with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been scoped by ENTs. I've worked with vocal coaches. I don't really have a good answer to that question. I really should. What I'm essentially doing is I think what I've learned is that I'm adapting metal screaming techniques, and using those to maintain the health of my voice. Also, I played in punk screaming bands in bars when you could still smoke in bars from when I was 15.
Oh, that's rad.
Vocal cords are just tempered and raw sewage.
Where were you playing punk shows? Where are you from?
Oh
I
my
guess
gosh, on the East Coast. I'm originally from the East Coast of Canada.
Wow.
I was in a punk band for a while, and we would tour around and play a bunch of shows when I was still in high school, which was really, really fun. And that's kind of how I learned how to sing.
Not to stereotype, but how is the Canadian punk scene?
It was great. There's some amazing punk bands that came out of it when I was playing. We played with Alexis on Fire. We are a great punk band out of Ontario, with Dallas Green, who then started a band called City and Color, which I think became pretty popular. Yeah, there was just the town that I grew up in had a really, really great local music scene when I was there. I don't think it really has one anymore. A lot of the venues shut down, but when I was growing up, it was a way to get stage time. So I did that. I also did a lot of improv. I studied at Second City in Io and Chicago. I performed in at the Upfront Theater years ago. Ryan Stiles' theater in is that in Bellingham? I think it's pretty close to Spokane, isn't it?
I think so. The Seattle area.
Yeah. Anything that would get me up in front of a crowd, I was interested.
So it wasn't even that your passions were, I want to be an actor. It was you just love to perform in any artistic space.
I don't know what it was like. I think there was a rock star punk attitude vibe that I really dug from bands like Green Day or NoFX. That I think those bands were in a way very performative. I think a lot of rock stars also have that John Lennon was so funny. It's just Freddie Mercury's so theatrical. I think that there's a massive crossover between comedy performing, the shock, the bigs, comedians and rock stars both play to arenas. I think that there is some kind of overlap there that
I think that's accurate, because you don't, nobody wants to go see a band do their set and then walk off the stage and that's it. They walk on, play it, walk off.
Yeah.
You want something from them.
Yeah, you want to feel like you're engaging with the artist for sure.
Yeah.
Unless it's Van Morrison, then he can do whatever he wants.
Actually, we just saw Bob Dylan. He came to town not too long ago.
Incredible. We were in St. Louis and we drove to go see him in Indianapolis.
He didn't give much.
No,
he did.
Oh man.
No, we did not.
He's an incredible piano player. I didn't realize how good of a piano player he was.
Oh yeah, no, he did play piano the whole time, and then with the harmonica.
So good.
But
I'm a huge fan of Bob. I did see him one time in an arena, which I thought was of the wrong setting for Bob Dylan. It was just odd to see.
Was he in? I feel like Bob Dylan would be an in the round guy in a arena.
Yeah, no, this was a classic arena. The stage was at one side of the thing, and
Ugh.
he didn't even perform center stage, if I'm remembering right. I think he was playing keys like stage left, like by the drums, just like standing up on the. Anyway, it doesn't. I don't know that his music translates well to
No,
arena
no,
rock,
I don't think he's not the
my
big
favorite way to
rockin'.
speak.
Yeah, with pyro for Bob
Yeah,
Dylan.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't think twice. It's all right.
Wah!
Yeah.
All right, well, Justin, I don't want to take up too much of your time. You've been very
Oh,
gracious. Just what can people expect when they come to see the show as we wrap up?
You have the best night of your life. No comparisons. Better than your wedding. Better than the birth of your child. This is like, and if you don't believe me, prove me wrong.
Well, spoken like Beetlejuice himself. That was a great way to wrap it up. Justin Collette, you can see Beetlejuice the musical coming to Spokane First Interstate Center for the Arts December 31st through January 5th. Tickets are on sale now. Justin Collette, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And if you want to get your link to tickets, you can find that on kxly.com. You can also get tickets on BroadwaySpokane.com. For now, live in studio, I'm Rob King for 4 News Now.